Alright, so this video we're going to start and we're going to talk a little bit about the Back to the Abyss, right, as well as hero lineup and hero selection. So I already kind of talked about this as the main party I use. One really important thing when you're selecting your hero lineup and equipment, right, is for Son of War you want the most speed possible so that he gets his attack out before anything else happens and so that he gets that immunity shield the first round. So notice here I have plus 10 speed and plus 10 speed. And the rating of the equipment isn't as important as getting that plus 10 speed on both pieces is. Another hero that you really want a lot of speed on is Daisy. So you can see here, this isn't that great of a boot, but it's the only boot that the other boot that I have plus 10 speed with. Its rating is only A instead of S. And this was the only plus 10 speed boot I had for a long time that I was using on my Son of War until I got this S rating plus 10 boot. Alright, so for both of those characters, I want as much speed possible. I want as much speed possible on Daisy so that she gets out her immunity revive, essentially, or protection from death on the champion that's either in the top right in the first order or is the lowest on health, right? So that's my main lineup that I use. I use that lineup primarily because it offers a lot of CC, which gives you kind of the best chance at a lot of bosses. So here I'm going to go back to the Abyss. So Demise is super hard. If the CC doesn't land just right, I'll get defeated fairly quickly. So this is the positioning that I generally like to use. I have Daisy here back in the middle so that she doesn't get countered, right? And I try to have my CC so that they'll stun the little cat guys in the robot. So I'll start the challenge here. And what I want to do is go through a couple of these. So you can see, right, he gets off his attacks first. All right, then we have CC. All right, and I'm hoping that CC lands, but it doesn't always, right? And when it doesn't land, that can have a huge effect on how the fight's gonna go. Right, so now we start. See, I want Daisy to get that early attack for immunity on whoever it's on. Right, and I just lost some CC with Colin the kid getting stunned. Right, so that's one less chance I have of getting CC in this round. So I'll have immunity here, and hopefully I can get some stun on those cat guys because they do a lot of damage if they don't get stunned. Here's my last chance to stun them. Alright, one of them got stunned, and as you can see, they do a ton of damage. They almost wiped my party there. If both of them weren't stunned, that would have wiped my party right there, and that would have been it for me. Alright, now I got a little more chance to get some stun, some CC out, alright, heal up my characters a little bit. Alright. And now Son of War is going to go on a second attack, right, and now we're going to be able to finish this. So I'm going to skip this now. You can kind of see how important getting out that stun is. Alright, this is another kind of random effect, picking what you get. Alright, I typically like to go damage reduction or bonus attack of some factor that affects the whole party. So I'll kind of skip through these next couple ones. They're not too hard. All right, this one is another one that can be really tough if you don't get the proper stun. And then you have the archer in the back who attacks the back line, right? And sometimes I'll go here and try to remember, okay, what counters what, all right? So the mecha units are stronger, so I'm going to move him there. And then I'm really just going to hope that, and then I'm going to move him there so that hopefully he stuns him, all right? And you can see this is another pretty tough one. There's a lot of damage that goes out here. And if the CC doesn't land right, it could be the doom of your party, right? So that wasn't a good CC right there. I didn't really need that. All right, but that was a pretty decent one there, but only for my back line. So now my front line's kind of exposed. All right, as you can see, most of my party already is dead on this, right? So I had Daisy right there so that she could protect herself with immunity. Now I don't have a lot of stun left to get off, but it doesn't really matter, right? I'm just going to let this play out a little bit just so you kind of see the battle and how hard these demise battles are and how important proper CC landing can be, right? But sometimes if you rely on CC too much, it really kind of hurts you more than anything because then your party's just going to die. Right, but what I really wanted to show you is, right, I got through that battle. So now I have champions that are dead. So what do I do? All right, so I'm going to add some troop hero here. All right, so I have those 3 dead heroes. All right, so I can't use them anymore in my Back to the Abyss. So going back, I'm going to try to figure out 3 other heroes to use. All right, so sometimes I got to go kind of back and forth because my memory's not that good just to remember which ones are Marlon's. Son of War, right, and Cantor all left, so Marlon, Son of War, and Cantor, so she's not going to be any good. Marlon's still good, Daisy's dead, all right, and Colin's dead. All right, so those are the heroes that I have that are dead. So I'm going to remove their equipment, and I'm going to try to figure out how I want to replace them. All right, once again, CC is still really good, so I have a couple CC champions here left. Right, Ultimate Bomber is very good and necessary for certain battles. All right, so I'm going to use him, and I want him to be tanky, so I'm going to give him Frost Legacy. All right, and then I'm going to use Selena. All right, and I want her. I'm going to give her the Everwinter Melody. All right, and then I need some sort of healing because my Daisy's dead. So I'm going to use Simone. Her healing is probably one of the better healings in the game. All right, and I'm going to swap Thunder Engraving onto here. Then I'm going to make sure, right, so I removed her equipment, I removed Colin's equipment, and I removed Natasha's equipment. Right. So sometimes it won't always equip your best equipment when you're going through. So sometimes you got to go through and you got to double check to make sure that you have the things on that you want. All right. So now we go back into, now that we've equipped our other members, we can go back in here, right? And I can reset this up. All right. So this is another hard battle. Most of them are, right? But you can kind of see what this looks like. Honestly, this party's going to be wiped, but I just want to kind of show you how once heroes die, that doesn't mean it's the end of the Back to the Abyss. You don't have to reset right away, right? Sometimes you can just swap your lineup a little bit, right? And you still get the things you need to get. Right? So it's going to be pretty bad for me, mostly because, right, my healing got taken out right away, so I won't be able to necessarily make it through the next couple of attacks that I need to. All right, luckily my Son of War really does a ton of damage and wipes them out. All right, and here you're going to see just how important Norton can be, right? Because he sucks them up, that prevents all damage that he was going to do, right? Which can be super important for things like Force Defender or Anubis and other people. All right, because I didn't have any healing, right? I lost Selena, right? But I'm able to survive through this round, really, even though it didn't turn out like I wanted to. All right, and then you can kind of just keep doing that as you go through, right? So I lost another person. I'm just going to go back. I'm going to remove, all right, Simone's equipment. All right, I'm going to find another healer, right? I kind of like Rika, all right? I'll give her healing's not the best, all right, but her ability to reduce the defense of other people, all right, still makes her pretty good. Change her equipment around, give her the artifact, go back into Abyss, and then we just keep going through this until either we don't have strong enough heroes to live, or, you know, till we clear the Abyss. So that's how you do Abyss and how you can swap your equipment and your heroes around to help you get through this.